From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Wildlife and Parks captures a grizzly bear that had been harassing campers and homeowners near West Yellowstone. Coming up, learn how that bear is getting off without a death sentence.
What happens when your sole mission is to help others, but then a pandemic comes and you might find yourself needing help? I'm Annie Johnson with that full story coming up.
It is 6:30 here back on Montana this morning. Caitlin Corbett, Chet Lehman, and Matt Elwell. It's a little bit cloudy out there and very breezy.
Yeah, I was watching the wind speeds. We got up to about 21 miles an hour during the break. So
nice.
Yeah, you get to go
Up
play
from
out on the
18?
Billion Auto Weather patio. It'll
go.
be a good time.
Well, hang on to the table.
I will. That's the only thing that's going to keep me anchored.
If that table's the only thing that's going to keep you anchored, you're in big trouble, my friend.
I'm losing weight. That's what
you are. You are
He's
so
just going to
stout.
blow away.
I will. I don't think there's any worry about that. We are watching a couple of showers try to work into the area. A lot of this evaporating before it hits the ground. What I'm watching is the afternoon for the potential of some stronger thunderstorms after the noon hour. A few of those storms between 1 and 5 could be fairly strong, bringing us small to moderate hail, gusty winds as they approach the region. Right now, our planner calling for daytime highs into the 70s, maybe low 80s, and look how sharply those temperatures fall into the 60s as that storm passes and we have a cold front in place. We're going to break it all down for you, of course, coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:31 now. A grizzly bear got into an unsecured garbage can at a house and repeatedly at a campground near West Yellowstone last week.
Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife and Parks captured the 5 to 6-year-old male grizzly at Rainbow Point Campground. Bear got into garbage cans and a cooler and food and garbage in the back of a pickup. It also toppled a tent and climbed onto an occupied vehicle. Multiple attempts were made to haze the bear away, but no success. Eventually, the campground had to be closed while the bear was captured. Now, when a bear cannot be rehabilitated, often it's killed. This bear is lucky, though. It's been transferred to the Grizzly and Wolf Discovery Center in West Yellowstone for education and testing new bear-resistant products. Well, it's already been a busy summer for bear activity in western Montana, and as more of us head outdoors, our chances of encountering one goes up. MTN's Connor McCauley spoke with Fish, Wildlife and Parks about coexisting with bears.
Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks says that an increase in outdoor activity has brought more encounters with bears this season, and this past holiday weekend was a great example.
Yeah, the phone was just ringing off the hook this weekend. I think mostly because of the COVID-19, everyone's out. Everyone's out in the woods, everyone's camping.
Jonkel says that this year they are tracking bears in Sealy and have had encounters in the rattlesnake, but says these issues apply to all of western Montana. He also says the berry harvest has been strong, which promotes bear encounters at trailheads, campgrounds, and even at some homes. He recommends carrying bear spray on trails, but there is one thing in particular FWP officials would like people to start doing.
It seems like everyone has decided it's okay to put out bird feeders. Bird seed is full of oil, and it's like a drug to these bears that get addicted to it.
While strong berry crops should keep bears from looking for other food sources, the location of the berries might still bring bears into contact with people.
You know, we're going to have a really good serviceberry crop, and looks like we're going to have a pretty good huckleberry crop. So things should wane a little bit. There'll be more food, but sadly, you know, a lot of the serviceberry are right in amongst some of the, urban home sites. So folks just have to be tolerant.
In Missoula, Connor McCauley, MTN News.
Now you can find more information on how to stay safe by visiting Montana's FWP Bear Aware page.
6:33 now. The Gallatin City County Health Department reports 5 new COVID-19 cases for a total of 32 since Friday. One case that was previously assigned to Gallatin County was reassigned to another county. There are 50 confirmed active cases and no one hospitalized in Gallatin County right now. Those new cases are in Gallatin Valley, Big Sky, and West Yellowstone and are related to contacts with known cases, community spread, and travel. The State Health Department reports 37 new cases in 7 counties. Silver Bow is 19 total cases, Madison 18 cases, no new cases in either of those counties. Reports after the state posts numbers added cases, including late last night, 2 cases in Cascade and 3 in Lewis and Clark County, which brings us to 1,280 and 501 active cases in the state.
In other news, there's a new deadline for the Paycheck Protection program, which helps small businesses keep their workers on payroll during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Small Business Administration, the SBA will forgive loans if all employee retention criteria is met and funds are used for eligible expenses. The money for the extended period comes from remaining funds from the second round of the CARES Act.
Montana's doing great with this program as far as being able to, I think, distribute the funds. We're over 23,000 PPP loans in Montana for $1.76 billion. On top of that, there's the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program that's got over 16,500 advances for about $49.5 million.
The new deadline for the PPP loan is August 8th. You can find an application for a PPP loan by visiting our websites.
Well, nearly everyone has had to adapt in some way during this pandemic, and when resources aren't as available as usual, different nonprofit organizations have to adapt to meet the needs of their community. MTN's Annie Johnson has the story.
Nonprofit organizations are known for their want to help others, but what does that look like in the middle of a pandemic when resources might not be as available?
Needs are so great that the resources coming in are either a little bit slow to get to people in terms of some of the federal supports and just the inadequate federal supports.
It's hard because without that face-to-face contact and without the ability to build those relationships and really connect with those families, sometimes they're reluctant to ask for help.
And it's a challenge to be able to still provide for our seniors in our area, and we can't necessarily visit them and assist them every single day like we used to, so we've certainly had to adapt those services as well.
At first it was kind of scary because we needed a lot of food and we needed it quickly.
So how have these nonprofits been able to stay afloat during a pandemic?
It's a very generous community. We are a community that looks out for each other and takes care of each other. So I have been repeatedly impressed with how our other nonprofits have worked together.
We've had, some revelations come out of this as well that we're thankful for, that, oh yeah, we can provide services virtually and online to people, and that actually gets people those resources better.
The community has been incredible. They truly have. We've seen some new donors that we never worked with before, and it's just exciting to see people caring for each other. That's the best part.
There's so many ways you can help out. You never know when what you have is the answer to someone's problem. Reporting in Bozeman, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
6:37 now. The COVID-19 pandemic has been affecting businesses differently. For the biking and outdoors industry, business has been booming. Minibike shops in Gallatin County are having a hard time keeping certain things in stock. MTN News talked with one shop manager who says the pandemic has turned biking into a family affair.
Once it got warm here, our business has been busier than ever. People have been coming in for all sorts of bikes, everything from kids. The kids were stuck at home, so the parents were like, we got to do something. So they came and got kids' bikes. And then the parents decided, well, we want to ride with the kids, so they got bikes for themselves.
High demand, low availability is what's causing a shortage of some of those items.
An apartment fire in Corvallis that killed 3 people early yesterday is now being investigated as an arson and homicide case. Shortly after 2 a.m. on Monday, fire crews responded to reports of an apartment complex on fire on Main Street. When they arrived, the building was engulfed in flames, but crews were able to quickly contain the fire. According to the Ravalli County Sheriff's Office, 3 adults died, but their identities are not being revealed. Authorities are asking for anyone with surveillance or security cameras in the Corvallis and Hamilton area to contact the Ravalli County Sheriff's Office so that investigators can review the content.
In Treasure State Court news, a man accused of lighting his dog on fire in March appeared in Lincoln County District Court yesterday on felony charges. Domingo Palafox of Troy pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of tampering with witness and 1 count of aggravated animal cruelty. Jury trial now set for November 17th. Palafox allegedly poured gas on a 1-year-old puppy named Percy, tying up the dog and lighting it on fire. The rope burned through and the dog was able to run off. Percy was picked up by an animal rescue group out of Libby, where he underwent rehabilitation for some 6 weeks. The dog has since been adopted by a family in Alberta, Canada.
Honestly, that has such a good ending considering the circumstances.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's it. And we'll continue to follow the progress of the trial in that as well. Again, November for the district court trial on that.
Absolutely. 6:39 now coming up on Montana This Morning. A big loophole is letting some nursing homes duck reporting of COVID-19 deaths. What that loophole is and what you need to look out for if you're shopping for a nursing home for a loved one. That's just ahead, but first, here's what's coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, the scientists who say coronavirus can be spread farther than 6 feet in tiny airborne particles. Dr. John LaPook joins us to explain if we're doing enough to protect ourselves. Also, how positive tests and problems with COVID testing are now casting doubt on whether Major League Baseball and other sports can resume play. And we'll show you how a bus painted like a cow, yep, I said it, a cow, is helping a small ice cream business thrive while bringing communities together during this pandemic. Don't we all love a cow? Yeah, we do. We'll see you at 7 o'clock on the dot.